Resident Evil 5. Released on March 2009, the game is the 7th installment in the Resident Evil survival horror series. The story of Resident Evil 5 revolves around Chris Redfield and Sheva Alomar investigation of a terrorist threat in Kijuju, a fictional town in Africa. Chris Redfield, a former STARS member and now part of the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, is dispatched to Kijuju, Africa, to work with Sheva Alomar to apprehend Ricardo Irving before he can sell a bioorganic weapon on the black market. Upon arriving, they discover that locals there have been converted to parasites into mutageni, and that the members of the BSAA Alpha team have been killed. Chris then sees a photograph of Jill Valentine, his old partner, presumed dead after a confrontation with Oliver Wesker. Trisul agent Exalagion has been plotting with Wesker to unleash a number of missiles with the Ouroboros virus across the globe. Chris and Sheva pursue Exala, but are stopped by Wesker and a hooded figure, later revealed to be Jill, enslaved by a mind control device on her chest. Exala and Wesker escape to the Trisul oil tank while Chris and Sheva fight Jill, eventually subduing her and removing the device from her chest. After a brief reunion, Jill orders Chris to follow Wesker.
You do need to stop him.
We can't just leave you here.
You have to. This is your only chance. If Wesker succeeds, Ouroboros will be spread across the globe. Millions will die.
Well, yeah, but...
I'm all right. You need to stop him. Chris, you're the only one who can. Before it's too late.
Later on, Jill then radios in and informs Chris and Sheva that Wesker must regularly take precisely measured doses of a drug to maintain his superhuman strength and speed. A larger or smaller dose will act as a poison for Wesker. Sheva then realizes the syringes she recovered from Exceller are doses of that drug. Chris and Sheva follow Wesker to a bomber aboard the tanker loaded with missiles containing the Ouroboros virus.
Just took a dose, so it's gonna be a while before he needs another one.
Damn.
Listen, Excella said that the amount administered has to be precise. So if he injects too much, it should act like a poison. I think she used a serum labeled PG67AW.
PG67AW.
I'm gonna try to find a way to escape. You need to find that serum. Excella always kept it with her, and in that attaché case.
Jill! Come in! Jill! Shit.
Chris, this is it.
Let's give it a shot.
They are then rescued by a helicopter piloted by Jill and Josh. In his dying breath, Wesker attempts to drag the helicopter into the volcano, but Chris and Sheva kill him with their rocket-propelled grenades.
That was for our fallen brothers.
Resident Evil 5 features similar gameplay to Resident Evil 4, with context-sensitive controls and dynamic cutscenes also making a return. The player can control either Chris Redfield or Sheva Alomar in a similar fashion to Leon S. Kennedy in Resident Evil 4. With the same over-the-shoulder perspective, the game's environment plays a significant role. Instead of zombies, the game's humanoid enemies are called mutageni. They bear many resemblances to the Ganados of Resident Evil 4 because they speak, run, dodge and wield weapons. Like in Resident Evil 4, the number of weapons variations is increased compared to the previous games in the series. There are now several varieties of handguns, shotguns, submachine gun, and assault rifles to choose from. Like inventory systems in two previous Resident Evil titles, Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Outbreak File Number 2, the player can only equip weapons and items in the midst of the game. The game will still run in real time as you manipulate the inventory, as opposed to the game pausing. The game features some online elements. Resident Evil 5's main story mode can be played with 2 players in a cooperative mode, online.
Resident Evil, the Darkside Chronicles.
Resident Evil, the Darkside Chronicles. It's an on-rail shooter video game for the Wii. The game was released for the Wii on November 17, 2009, bundled with the Wii Zapper accessory. The game along with the Umbrella Chronicles will be included on Resident Evil Chronicles HD Collection for the PlayStation 3. The game's plot revolves around the personal stories and tragedies in the Resident Evil series. Its main focus is retelling the events of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Code Veronica. In 2002, somewhere in South America, Leon S. Kennedy and his partner Jack Krauser are searching for Javier Hidalgo, an ex-drug lord who had been reported to be approaching Umbrella Corporation. However, when Leon and Krauser reach the nearby village, they discover that the people there have been turned into zombies.
Hey, you okay? What happened here? Krauser, wait! Yeah, what? Something's not right with this guy. Didn't see that coming. So this is what Umbrella's virus can do, huh?
It is revealed by Javier that Manuela is his daughter and that he had been tampering with the T. Veronica virus. Both of them also discover that Manuela has been receiving regular doses of the T. Veronica virus to contain her illness. They are confronted by the gigantic monster and ambush them back at the church, who they soon learn is actually Manuela's mother.
But that's only for the first 15 years.
If you had just let me die.
They are confronted by the gigantic monster that ambushed them back at the church, who they soon learn is actually Manuela's mother. Having the same illness as Manuela, she mutated due to the failure to keep the virus in check. Right before dying, she shoots out spikes from her body, one of which pierces into the arm of Krauser, wounding him.
It's nothing. I guess this is it for me.
Javier then injects himself with the T. Veronica virus. He begins to mutate and attacks Leon and the injured Krauser. Manuela assists Leon and Krauser in battle against her father by using T. Veronica, at the risk of turning into a monster herself. The 3 survive and are rescued by a helicopter. The US government takes care of Manuela, and Leon and Krauser's story continues in Resident Evil 4.
With my father.
No. No one should have died down there. Besides, you've got an obligation to live. For the sake of the girls living inside you. Manuela was later taken into custody by the US government.
Memories of a Lost City is a scenario that retells the events of Resident Evil 2. Claire Redfield and Leon S. Kennedy have just arrived in Raccoon City, when they learn that the city has been infested with zombies and other monsters. They decide to go to the police station, hoping to find answers and discover Umbrella's involvement in the ordeal. William's own daughter, Sherry, becomes his target, and Leon and Claire must protect her from becoming mutated by his G virus. All the while, stalked by the powerful tyrant and dealing with the mysterious agenda of Ada Wong.
Not bad.
I never thought any of this stuff my brother taught me would work.
Stars. A special force issue, huh?
It's my brother's. That's why I'm here, to find him. I'm Claire Redfield.
Hey, Leon Kennedy.
Game of Oblivion is an abridged version retelling the events of Resident Evil Code Veronica, where Claire Redfield and Steve Burnside remain together and attempt to escape Rockford Islands in a seaplane, while having to contend with the psychotic Alfred Ashford and eventually his sister Alexia. Claire and Steve are eventually separated and Chris arrives to help her find him, before taking on Alexia. In this iteration of the story, their father, Alexander Axford, makes his first physical appearance, in a video prior to becoming the monster known as Nosferatu.
You don't look like one of them, Claire. They get you too?
Yeah, you could say that.
Darkness Falls is a hidden story of the game, which tells the thoughts of Krauser. This scenario follows right after Krauser's acceptance of Leon in the middle of the game. As the trio goes deeper into Javier's hideout, Krauser's fate is shaken when he discovers the background of Leon. As he learns more about Javier's intentions with the virus, he finds himself beginning to accept Javier's thinking. The injury sustained during the fight against Manuela's mutated mother causes Krauser to lose confidence when he found himself having to rely on Leon, rendering his thought of what is going to happen to him after completing the mission. During his fight against the mutated Javier, Manuela uses the T. Veronica virus to fight her father. The demonstration of the T. Veronica virus helps in convincing Krauser that the dark side is the path he has to take, especially when he believes that the military will throw him aside once they learn of his injury. After the mission, it was discovered that there is no way to heal Krauser's arm. Krauser soon begins the search of Wesker for power. The Darkside Chronicles is an on-rails shooter. The player's partner is seen on screen during gameplay. There is a new evade move to set the Darkside Chronicles apart from other on-rails shooters. There were also some gameplay changes. For example, headshots were made easier for players to perform, and a status screen was implemented. The game automatically adjusts its difficulty, depending on the player's skill level. Other new features include online leaderboards and a system to tell the player's reticules apart from each other's in co-op session.